Venice Beach. For decades, it was the ultimate postcard of California cool skaters, artists, and the glittering promise of the Pacific. But today, if you stand on the boardwalk and close your eyes, the salt air isn't what you smell. It is choked by the heavy, rancid scent of systemic collapse and human neglect. Venice Beach is no longer a playground. It is a haunting graveyard of the American dream. Right now, I am watching a relentless tide of jagged tents and makeshift bunkers swallow the iconic boardwalk. This isn't just poverty. This is a high-definition humanitarian wound, an open-air monument to misery that the world tries to pretend is just part of the scenery. Behind those shredded tarps, human lives are being pulverized by a housing market that preys on the vulnerable, and a policy machine that is coldly indifferent. I see eyes hollowed by the chemical dependency crisis and faces etched with the exhaustion of 1,000 sleepless nights. This is a place where freedom has been perverted into the right to die on the sand, ignored and utterly alone. Imagine trying to rest when the very ground beneath you is a battlefield. If you fall into a deep sleep, you are woken up by a flashlight in your eyes and told to move. You are not allowed here. You are not allowed there. You are a ghost in your own city. Every sweep of the sidewalk is a merciless erasure of dignity, pushing the broken into even darker corners where the tourists can't see them. Venice is a blistering microcosm of a nation in freefall. In 2024, Los Angeles County recorded over 75,000 people experiencing housing instability, a figure that barely scratches the surface. Thousands more remain hidden in alleys, cars, and forgotten spaces, avoiding the official counts because they have learned that being seen often means being moved. Welcome to Homeless US. Today, we are going inside the tents. We are going to meet Thomas, who survives in a public restroom, and Lisa, a former healer whose credentials meant nothing when the rent soared. We are going to ask the hard questions. How did one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in the world become a sanctuary for suffering? And why have we started treating these human beings as if they are just part of the landscape? Don't look away. What you are about to see is the raw truth behind the Southern California sun. The descent into the Venice Beach crisis starts right now. Part 2, the visibility paradox, life behind the tarps. Walking down the boardwalk today, the scale of the crisis is tangibly, painfully visible. Tents and makeshift bunkers stretch for blocks, spilling into parking lots and the edges of the sand. According to the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, the numbers in Venice are staggering, but the numbers alone don't tell the story. The visibility paradox of Venice is this: the people are everywhere, yet they are largely ignored. Thousands of tourists snap selfies and buy trinkets just inches away from families living in nylon boxes. The boardwalk has absorbed their presence into the scenery, turning human agony into a background texture. Who are the people behind the tarps? They are as diverse as the city itself. You see young adults who aged out of systems, veterans who returned from service only to find the door locked, and seniors whose fixed incomes were devoured by a 300% rent hike. Some are navigating profound mental health challenges. Others are caught in the grip of the chemical dependency crisis that has turned the streets into a biological hazard zone. But what strikes me most isn't just the diversity, it's the vigilance. Out here, you can never truly let your guard down. Every morning starts with a routine born of absolute necessity: folding blankets, pushing carts, and scanning for safe spots as the sun climbs. When the city trucks arrive to clear a block, everything shifts in an instant. The shock in their eyes as their only security is tossed into a garbage truck is something you never forget. Policies meant to help often feel like another weight pressing down. A few weeks of a motel voucher, a temporary stay that ends without a long-term plan. This is the cycle of displacement. The streets look cleaner for a day, The sidewalks are fresh for the evening news, but the lives have simply been scattered. They return to the corners authorities choose to ignore, but the brief glimpse of stability has vanished, replaced by a weariness that settles into the bone. Part 3. The Chemical Trap, Survival in the Shadows. As we move away from the shoreline and into the narrow alleys that border the boardwalk, we encounter a second, more lethal crisis, the chemical dependency trap. In 2026, the streets of Southern California are no longer dealing with the substances of a decade ago. We have entered the era of high-potency synthetic compounds and veterinary additives that have rewritten the biology of the street. Many people wonder why individuals don't just get up and leave. But what we see here is not a lack of effort. It is a biological hijacking. These new compounds create a state of extreme physical instability. You see people standing in impossible, contorted poses, frozen in place as if the world has paused. This isn't a choice. It's a shutdown of the nervous system's ability to communicate with the muscles. Addiction here is often a dark form of self-medication against the relentless cold of the Pacific night and the soul-crushing isolation of being ignored. People turn to these chemicals to quiet the fear, but the chemistry of the street is unforgiving. One bad dose can turn a quiet morning into a tragedy in seconds. The environment shapes behavior. When you have no warm bed, no privacy, and zero certainty about tomorrow, the mind looks for any way to numb the pain. But every escape has a cost. It erodes the drive to seek help, and it makes the work of outreach teams who are already stretched to their breaking point nearly impossible. We are witnessing a cycle where the chemical supply is designed to maximize profit by ensuring that the consumer can never truly leave the margin. This isn't just a health issue, it's an industrialization of human misery. Part 4. The Daily Grind, the Architecture of Exhaustion. Even with Southern California's famous sunshine, weather is a constant adversary for the unsheltered. The daily routine is an architecture of exhaustion. Imagine waking up at dawn, not because you are rested, but because you must pack your entire life into a shopping cart before the city sweep arrives. Strong Pacific winds can tear a nylon tent apart in minutes. Sudden rain can soak everything you own: your ID, your only change of clothes, your last photograph of family. In Venice, the sun is not a luxury. It is a scorching weight that makes the days unbearable when you have no access to clean water or a sliver of shade. Basic human needs become Herculean tasks. Food is never guaranteed, while expensive cafes serve $25 avocado toast just a block away. Hundreds of people are waiting for a mobile outreach van to provide a single meal. Access to bathrooms and hygiene facilities is so scarce that it becomes a quiet humiliation, a daily erosion of the spirit. When you spend 100% of your energy just trying to keep your belongings from being stolen or your tent from collapsing, there is 0% left for rebuilding a life. This is what we call the survival trap. Every morning, every night, the people of Venice face the uncertainty of where they will sleep, how they will stay safe, and whether they can endure another 24 hours in a world that offers so little and demands so much. Part 5. The community friction. A neighborhood divided. Venice Beach is more than a destination. It is a community that lives alongside this reality every day. And in 2026, the tension has reached a breaking point. On any given afternoon, the boardwalk is a mixture of compassion, frustration, and deep-seated resignation. On one side, you have the grassroots healers, local residents who open their hearts, bringing blankets and food directly to the tents. They see the human being behind the shopping cart. On the other side, you have the business owners and longtime residents who are drowning in frustration. They worry about the image of the boardwalk, the decline in tourism, and the unpredictability of street life. In town hall meetings, the debates are no longer about if there is a problem, but how to handle it. Some argue that enforcement without long-term housing is a cruel merry-go-round of displacement. Others feel that the current lack of accountability only encourages dependency. This digital and physical divide mirrors a national struggle. How do we balance public order with human dignity? Small moments of care, a volunteer network checking on an isolated elder, a pop-up event offering a haircut or a clean shirt are the only things keeping the social fabric from tearing completely. These efforts show that even in the midst of conflict, people are searching for human-centered solutions. But as the City Hall balances its books on the backs of the most vulnerable, the community is left to wonder, are we solving the crisis or just moving it to the next zip code? Part 6. The path to restoration, from survival to stability. As we stand on the threshold of 2027, the question is no longer whether we can see the crisis, but whether we have the collective courage to solve it. In Venice Beach, and across the broader landscape of Southern California, we are seeing the emergence of a new blueprint for restoration. This isn't about temporary patches. It is about rebuilding the foundation of what it means to be a neighbor. The most effective strategy we have seen is the housing stability first approach. It recognizes a fundamental biological and psychological truth. A person cannot recover from a chemical dependency crisis or a mental health fracture while they are bracing against the wind on a sidewalk. Stability requires a door that locks. By providing permanent, supportive housing paired with on-site medical and vocational care, the city has seen success rates where over 90% of individuals remain housed after 2 years. We are also seeing the rise of safe parking initiatives for the thousands of families living in aging RVs. These sites provide more than just a place to park. They provide hygiene, security, and a direct link to social workers who can help them navigate the path back to a traditional home. This is the bridge model, using existing assets to stabilize lives before they plummet into the raw concrete. But these solutions require a radical shift in our economic priorities. We must move away from the austerity mindset that balances budgets by cutting frontline services. True fiscal responsibility means recognizing that it is far cheaper to house a person and provide them with care than it is to process them through emergency rooms, jails, and endless street sweeps. Restoration is not just a moral imperative, it is an economic necessity. It requires us to look at the discarded blue-collar class not as a burden, but as a vital part of the city's soul that needs to be brought back from the margins. Part 7. The Outgrow the Measure of a City. As the sun sets over the Pacific, casting long, golden shadows across the tents of Venice Beach, we are left with a reflection of our own shared humanity. We have walked through the graveyard of the American dream, witnessed the biological hijacking of the street supply, and heard the architecture of exhaustion in every tired breath. What we have seen today is not just a collection of individuals who failed. We have seen a system that is failing its most vulnerable members. Venice Beach is a mirror held up to America. It shows us what happens when we prioritize the comfort of the elite over the dignity of the human spirit. It shows us the cost of looking away. But the shadows also contain stories of incredible resilience. In every person like Thomas, who guards his small pocket of safety, and every person like Lisa, who still carries the hope of healing, there is a stubborn pulse of life that refuses to be erased. Reclaiming the soul of our cities starts with a simple, radical act: seeing them. Recognizing that the person in the tent is not a ghost, but a neighbor whose story is intertwined with our own. A great city is not measured by the height of its luxury towers, or the cleanliness of its tourist pots after a sweep. It is measured by the length of its reach to the person who has fallen the furthest. It is measured by its willingness to turn the graveyard of dreams back into a sanctuary of hope. Thank you for staying with us on Homeless US. Your investment of time and attention is the first step toward a different future. If these stories have touched you, please like, share, and subscribe. We must keep the conversation going until every person has a place to call home. What will you choose to see the next time you walk past a tent? Let us know in the comments below. Let's build a community where no one is left to die on the sand, ignored and alone. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your heart ready. This is Homeless US.